That railroad crossing up there is exactly a quarter-mile away from here. On green, I'm going for it.
What's happening, guys? Supernova here, back with another video. Today we're going to be discussing the two very different strategies taken by Microsoft and Sony when building their next generation consoles. Microsoft has chosen to go the route of straight brute force strength, while Sony has chosen to go the route of extreme efficiency and blinding speed. In sticking with the car theme, the Xbox Series X is much like the 1970 Dodge Charger RT, a big heavy beast powered by raw supercharged American V8 muscle. The PlayStation is more like the 1994 Toyota Supra, a light, nimble monster powered by a turbocharged Japanese inline six. How fitting that they even come from the same countries. Here are the specs, and I'll highlight the advantages for each. The Xbox's CPU runs at 3.8 GHz, the GPU has 12 teraflops and 52 compute units. Straight power. PlayStation's GPU may have less teraflops and compute units, but they're ran at a higher clock speed of 2.23 GHz, with their SSD having double the speed at 5.5 GB per second. It appears to be quite a mismatch in favor of the Xbox. We've even heard developers calling the Series X a beast, and some saying it's the superior machine. It's become clear since the creation of the Xbox One X that saying the world's most powerful console is something Microsoft enjoys saying, so it's no surprise they made sure they'd be able to say it going into next gen. They're thinking that their more powerful GPU will give them a large advantage in graphical fidelity over the competition, as well as better looking and better running multi-platform games. On paper, this would seem to be the case, but in practice, we won't really know until we start seeing games running on each. The only game we've seen running on Series X is Hellblade 2. The trailer is running an engine according to Phil Spencer, but is it an accurate depiction of what gameplay will look like? Maybe, maybe not. That's the issue with in-engine trailers. It's easy to make in-engine shots look good because you can fine-tune exactly how many resources the engine is using for any given element. An artist can push more graphical fidelity to a character's face while blurring the background, or add more processing power to the animations instead of loading the character's artificial intelligence. They can also add custom animations or other cinematic effects you wouldn't see in-game, even if they require more processing power. So while yes, what we're seeing is made using the in-game engine, the game could look like this, it could look worse than this, it could even look better than this. We just really won't know until we see some gameplay. Still, you can't deny the graphics in the Hellblade 2 trailer are insanely impressive. We haven't seen anything else for the Series X, but that's all going to change around May 7th when we're going to be shown more games running on the new hardware. The event planned for the 7th is going to be focusing on third-party games, so they'll also be appearing on PS5, so not sure what if anything we'll be able to take away from that event in terms of something to compare to PS5 exclusives. Still, I'm very excited to see games running on next-gen hardware. Unfortunately, Microsoft hasn't really gone deep into the details about the architecture of the Series X. We pretty much only have the specs, and that's it. So for the moment, that's all we know. And when it comes to the PS5, Sony has gone a completely different direction. Instead of focusing on power, they chose to focus on speed, and not just speed, but efficiency as well. Sony hasn't said much about the PS5 aside from a logo reveal and a controller reveal. What they did do is give us a deep dive into the architecture of the PS5. While both extremely technical, and yes, to many at times boring, this was a presentation that was designed for the Game Developers Conference pre-COVID-19 after all, there was a lot to learn about the design of the PS5 architecture. First is the higher clock speed of the GPU. Although it's down on compute units, the higher clock speed may take up some of the slack, allowing it to compete with the Series X GPU despite having 16 less compute units. Will it be as powerful? Of course not. But some feel it won't be as big a difference as the T-flop count alone would lead you to believe. Still, that's not the focus of the PS5. Where Xbox is bragging about its GPU, PS5 is bragging about its SSD. Sony has designed a custom NVMe solid-state drive that isn't one you can find on the shelf at your local Best Buy. It's been heavily customized from the ground up specifically to work in tandem with the rest of the PS5 hardware. Between its custom I/O and custom 12-channel flash controller, it can achieve speeds of up to 5.5 GB per second of decompressed data and up to 9 GB per second of compressed data. This is twice as fast as the Series X. Now, some of you may be saying, so my hard drive is twice as fast. My games load faster. So what? Well, like I said, speed and efficiency is what the PS5 has been designed for. Every system has bottlenecks, and according to Mark Cerny, they've eliminated the bottlenecks on PS5. Allow me to explain. Your GPU is responsible for putting up all the pixels you see on screen at any given time. As you're turning in game, the GPU is putting up all the pixels on screen in front of you and tossing them the second you don't need them anymore. This animation from the making of Horizon Zero Dawn illustrates this extremely well. Without removing the bottlenecks, an SSD that's 10 times faster than a regular hard drive is only 2 times faster in practice. Removing the bottlenecks means an SSD that's 100 times faster is 100 times faster. Being able to load so much data so quickly will mean being able to store less in RAM. Along with the removed bottlenecks, this should mean that PS5 will be able to put more information in front of you as you're moving, be it pixels, characters, you name it. This should equal larger, more realistic worlds than will be possible on Series X. PS5's speed will fundamentally change the way developers can make games. This is the reason we've also been hearing developers claim that PS5 is the superior machine. When it's all said and done, until we can see some games running in real time on both, this is all just opinions based on the data provided. No matter what though, I think it's safe to say that both PS5 and Series X are much larger generational leaps than their predecessors. Both will be amazing machines, and both will have their share of amazing games. With holiday 2020 right around the corner, it is indeed a fantastic time to be a gamer. Well, that's the video, guys. What do you think will come out on top? The power strategy of the Xbox or the speed strategy of the PlayStation? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next Supernova.